So, am I right that you've had a chance to review the report of Professor Beggs?
Indeed, I have.
And you listened to the evidence that he gave yesterday?
I did.
In terms of Professor Beggs' evidence in relation to the definition of aerosols, routes of transmission of COVID-19, are there any areas about which you disagree with him?
No.
What about the terminology? You were a clinician, so which camp are you in for the terminology?
It's a very good question. No, we absolutely concur with Professor Beggs' expert opinion, particularly on the definition of aerosols and droplets, which we regard as absolutely critical, indeed the elephant in the room, which has followed us throughout this pandemic. And without it, his whole pack of cards collapsed, which I believe is the expression he used yesterday. So we understand what he means by aerosols. It's what we mean by aerosols. And ballistic droplets are over 100 microns, not over 5. And this has absolutely critical impact upon the way CATA has proceeded throughout the last 4.5 years.
Can I just ask, in terms of the difference between, say, a clinical approach and a physics approach, would you maybe categorise it slightly differently and say that it's not entirely clinicians on one hand, but more a IPC professionals would draw that distinction?
I think it's a very important distinction because there are thousands of healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, dietitians, speech and language therapists, chest physios, and so on, who all agree that they disagree with the IPC guidance, and they seem to have a completely different view based on bad science, bad interpretation of the science, which nevertheless is what we had to follow during the pandemic. So it would be quite wrong to say that there's a difference between physicists, engineers, and clinical people, because most of us actually don't agree with the clinicians in the IPC group.
Thank you.